What is the American dream? Is it a reality or just an illusion? For centuries, the American dream has been the crown jewel of the United States, a beacon of hope and promise to those seeking a better life. Born from the ideals of freedom, equality, and opportunity, it's been deeply embedded in the fabric of our nation's history, casting a wide and compelling allure across the globe. But what exactly is the American dream? For many, it's about prosperity and success. It's the white picket fence around a suburban home, a steady job, and a comfortable life for your family. It's the belief in upward social mobility, that through hard work and determination, anyone can rise above their circumstances and achieve greatness. Yet in the face of economic uncertainty, social unrest, and widening inequality, this dream seems more elusive than ever. It's become a symbol of aspiration, yes, but also of disparity and unfulfilled promises. So we must ask ourselves, but is the American dream attainable for everyone? Meet Jack, an immigrant who moved to America with high hopes. Jack, like many others, was lured by the promise of the American dream, a dream of prosperity, of a better life for him and his family. He envisioned a land filled with opportunities, a place where his ambitions could take flight. But Jack's journey was not as straightforward as he had hoped. His dreams ran headlong into the harsh reality of life in America, where opportunities are often not equally distributed. Jack found himself grappling with systemic issues that made his climb to success arduous and steep. He quickly learned that quality education, a cornerstone of the American dream, was not easily accessible. Despite his eagerness to learn and grow, Jack was met with educational barriers. High tuition fees, limited scholarships, and a system that often favored native-born students left Jack grappling with a subpar education. Healthcare, too, posed its own set of challenges. Jack found that the cost of even basic medical care was exorbitant. The lack of affordable healthcare meant that an unexpected illness could potentially derail his life, adding another hurdle on his path to success. Moreover, Jack found that his immigrant status often put him at a disadvantage. Despite his skills and determination, he faced discrimination and bias that affected his chances of landing a good job or securing a decent wage. The dream Jack had envisioned was becoming increasingly elusive as he navigated through these systemic obstacles. But Jack's story is not unique. It's a story shared by many who chase the American dream. It's a tale of dreams belied by the reality of systemic issues, of dreams deferred. The question we must ask ourselves is, how can we level the playing field? How can we ensure that the American dream is not just a mirage but a reality for all who dare to dream? As we delve deeper into this topic, remember Jack's story, for it is a mirror to the struggle of many who are chasing the elusive American dream. Jack's story is not unique, it's a story shared by many who chase the American dream. Sarah, born and raised in America, also had her share of struggles. Sarah's story is not unique. She was born in a low-income neighborhood, where the glitz and glamour of the American dream were overshadowed by the harsh realities of poverty. Like many others, she was caught in the web of an economic system that often seems rigged against those at the bottom. Growing up, Sarah saw firsthand the struggle of her parents working multiple jobs just to make ends meet. Despite their efforts, the cycle of poverty was a relentless adversary. The odds were stacked against her, but Sarah was determined to break free. She believed in the promise of the American dream, the idea that hard work and determination could lead to prosperity. But as Sarah got older, she noticed the widening wealth gap in America. The rich were getting richer, while those in her community were barely scraping by. The promise of upward mobility seemed more elusive than ever. The American dream, it seemed, was far from accessible to everyone. This widening wealth gap in America is not just a statistic. It's a reflection of a system where opportunities are disproportionately skewed towards the privileged few. It's a system where your zip code can often predict your economic future, where the color of your skin can often determine your opportunities, and where the rich and poor live in increasingly separate worlds. Sarah's struggle is a stark reminder that the American dream is not a one-size-fits-all proposition. It's a dream that's becoming increasingly difficult to achieve for many Americans, particularly those in low-income communities. The widening wealth gap in America is not just an economic issue, it's a moral one, a question of fairness, of justice, of the kind of society we want to be. Sarah's story sheds light on the stark reality of income inequality in America. It's a reminder that the American dream should be within reach for everyone, regardless of where they come from, or what circumstances they are born into. The promise of the American dream should not be a privilege for the few, but a right for all. The American dream promises equality of opportunity, but is that promise fulfilled? It's a question that echoes in the hearts of countless individuals, a beacon of hope and a specter of disappointment all at once. Picture a canvas, brightly colored with dreams and aspirations, only to be shadowed by systemic barricades. These barriers aren't physical walls, but they're just as real, just as daunting. The first of these barriers is discrimination. Despite the progress made over the decades, racial and gender discrimination still permeate our society. It's the silent whispers, the sidelong glances, the unspoken bias that can stifle dreams and aspirations in their infancy. Imagine a young woman dreams of being a CEO, but finds herself constantly overlooked, her ideas undervalued, her potential undermined, all because of her gender. Or a hardworking man, a diligent worker with dreams of climbing the corporate ladder, but whose progress is stunted, not because of his performance, but his skin color. Next, let's talk about economic inequality, the widening chasm between the rich and the poor. It's a cruel irony, the dream of prosperity and success flourishing in a society where the top 1% hold more wealth than the bottom 50% combined. The dream seems to recede further into the distance, becoming a mirage for the many working tirelessly to make ends meet. And then, there's the lack of affordable housing and healthcare. Imagine having to choose between a roof over your head or a visit to the doctor. It's a choice no one should have to make, yet it's a reality for many. These stories aren't isolated incidents, but a reflection of a larger narrative. They underscore the harsh truth that the path to the American dream is not always paved with gold, but often strewn with obstacles that require more than just hard work and determination to overcome. The reality of achieving the American dream is far more complex than it appears. It's a dream intertwined with reality. A reality that often reflects a stark contrast to the idyllic promise of equal opportunity. Despite the challenges, the American dream remains a beacon of hope for many. It's a symbol, a promise, a belief deeply embedded in the psyche of this nation. It's the notion that no matter your origins or circumstances, you have the opportunity to rise, to achieve, to succeed. But as we've explored in our journey so far, the traditional American dream that many of us have been taught to pursue is facing significant challenges. Increasing income inequality, stagnating social mobility, and a widening wealth gap have made it harder than ever for many to attain this dream. Yet, it's important to remember that the American dream is not one size fits all. It's not just about white picket fences and 2.5 kids. It's about opportunity, freedom, and the pursuit of happiness as defined by each individual. This is where the potential for reimagining the American dream lies. We need to challenge the traditional notions of the American dream. It's time to redefine it based on our personal values and goals, and not on societal expectations or outdated norms. The dream can be about finding fulfillment in your work, about making a difference in your community, about leading a balanced and content life. It's all subjective, and that's the beauty of it. To make the American dream more accessible, systemic changes are required. We need policies that promote equality of opportunity, that provide quality education for all, that ensure a living wage, and that protect the rights of every individual. This is not a task for the faint-hearted, but it is one that we must undertake if we are to preserve the essence of the American dream. And so we arrive at the end of our exploration, but the conversation does not end here. The American dream is a living, evolving concept, and it's up to each of us to shape its future. The American dream may be elusive, but it is not unattainable. It's about redefining the dream and making it your own.